Welcome back, everybody. Welcome back to episode 363 of D&E Takeover. I'm your host, Dave Rodriguez, and my Eric. Such a fun. Eric's here too. Yeah.
In the flesh.
Yeah, we're back.
In person.
We're back.
Hey, look. This is real. High five. Yeah, man. In person.
What's
man.
going on, everybody? And welcome back.
We got a lot to talk about. I feel like the episodes from waiting from Thursday to Monday feels such a long period of time.
They do.
Even though not Thursday. I'm sorry. Well, technically, yeah, Thursday to Monday.
Wednesday show to Monday.
But they feel like such a long period of time. I feel like we missed so much stuff in the middle of that. But still, bro,
They do.
we have a lot to talk about.
We do, and honestly, all the way from NBA, because NBA Finals was Game 7 yesterday, and the fact that series went to Game 7, I thought we'll give our thoughts about how entertaining that series was, but we'll get into the game as well. But not only that, we'll talk about next year's contenders. Not only that, because on Saturday, KD decided to get traded to the freaking Rockets.
I don't know if he decided.
Well, he did. He said he had a part. He had a part in where he wanted to go. And the funny thing is, KD looked shocked when he got told, but he told Kay, what's her name? Kay Adams.
I forgot her name.
The girl.
Yeah.
Shout out to her. But he told her, he's like, yeah, I told him where I wanted to go. I knew when it happened.
I also saw Katie say she was someone had said, the reporter, I don't know if it was the same person you're talking about, but she was like, she was like, how do you feel about the Phoenix fans that will miss you and everything like that? There's a couple over there that are literally so upset that you got traded. And he literally turned and he's like, no, I don't feel bad. He goes, it's even me they wanted me out and I wanted to leave, so it happened. And then she was like, no. She's like, it's true. She literally pointed to the fans and he looked at them. He was like, nah.
Katie, as much as he's a great player, honestly, his personality is not the best. Yeah. I'm gonna be honest.
He don't care.
No, he don't care.
He really does not care.
But you gotta respect it. But overall, we do got some people in the chat. We got 5 people in the building. What's going on, guys? Thanks for popping out. Knives in the building. What's going on, Knives? Appreciate you. Oh, snap! Dave and Eric in the same room. What?
It's been a long time. It's been a long time.
It's been a while. When's the last time? Let's think.
You probably could, honestly, if I open my computer, I probably could find it. The episode, when was the last time we was together? Which technically would have been December, but I think we've deleted a couple.
I think it might have been when we did the 12 days of Christmas.
Nah, we've been in person since then.
Have we?
Yeah, at least once or twice. Literally, at least I can look it up after, but I don't feel like grabbing my computer right now. It's charging.
Fair enough.
Yo, put up the thingy bobbers.
Oh yeah, my bad.
Yo, we got that on the we got a little chat on the side.
PBM 10's in the bill. What's going on, PBM 10? He said prayers to Halle Burton, but congratulations to OKC. And he's also said, Eric, nice shirt. We'll get into it.
Guys, for anyone that's wondering, I just came from work. This is not my normal attire. You guys know that. I literally not just came from work, but I didn't have time to change.
Juan looked good. Juan Soto just hit a home run. Freaking, let's go, Juan. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2.
He said one home run.
1, 2 runs. 1 home run, 2 runs.
Oh my god,
that's fun. But you gotta love it. Knives says also, damn you, Houston. Katie should have been a Piston and you ruined it. Listen, Knives, we feel your pain. We knew how much you wanted Katie to go to the Pistons, but unfortunately, Katie did not have the Pistons on his trade request.
Honestly, if we really think about it, the moment Halliburton went down, the Pistons probably should have went all in to go get KD. They probably should have. Because, dude, the East, we're obviously going to talk about it, but everyone knows the East is wide freaking open next year. Literally, it's anyone's East. Yeah. Meanwhile, you look over at the West, chicken. It's actually so caught up. You don't know first from freaking fifth.
It's really weird because of the fact that the East, because of all these injuries, you're looking at 3 playoff teams, and shout out to Bear. Bear put this in my eyes because apparently he sent it in the group chat, but I didn't see it. 3 of these players in the playoffs got hurt, and they tore their Achilles all wearing number 0. Isn't that freaking crazy?
It's a weird coincidence.
It's ironic.
It's a weird coincidence.
It's ironic.
I saw another post also. Obviously, I'll be on social media looking at all the different reactions.
Yeah, you be on social media.
Don't do that. Don't do that. What's it called? Listen. Yeah, David's stupid. But my thing is, I saw all the different reactions to Tyrese Halliburton tearing his Achilles. He's actually gonna go under surgery. That was obvious, but I
thought you were just gonna keep it there.
I saw a report saying, so I should say it. Yeah. But someone said these players, or they said these kids specifically, have played too much basketball growing up, and it's starting to actually show within their game. I wanted to get your take on that as a whole, because see, we don't really talk about AAU. We don't talk about college as much. We still talk about college, but we don't talk about the culture of basketball. And a lot of people around the culture of basketball talk a lot about the overusage of kids, and also the overusage of the way the kids are taught. Like, everyone wants to, they play so many games because they're only taught how to win, not taught how to, like, the fundamentals, like whatever you can do to win. And they're not really worried about the kid. They're worried about getting the championship. And it also shows, like, it's a rough season. It's always been a rough season, 82 games. And I don't know what the situation is now, because we never had these many injuries in the regular season, let alone in the playoffs. And the amount of severity of the actual injury consistently, like you said, 3 players in the playoffs tearing the Achilles is not something lightly to look around. But, like, where do you think that stems from, realistically, as a PT yourself, sir?
Well, I'm going into. I'm not one yet, but I think it's more.
What's the clap?
I kind of get.
David,
I kind of get mad when people say, like, oh, they're playing too many games, because it's like back in the day they were playing the same games. I know you're talking about, like, travel team and kids coming up, but at the end of the day, like, there's still kids playing basketball in the street, which is way more tougher in terms of physicality than actual games, because you don't have referees calling stuff. So I really want to look at it. I don't think it's the fact of playing too much. I think what people don't look at, I think we only look at that because that's the thing that we can change on the outside. But I think what we have to look at is, are they getting enough rest? Are they sleeping enough? Are they sleeping good? Because even if you're sleeping 8 hours, but you're actually REM sleeping only 4, you're not getting good quality of sleep. And it's not giving you a chance of muscles to recover. Are you training good? Are you training injured? Because Tyrese Halliburton, let's be real, that injury, that was bound to happen.
Mm-hmm.
Well, in terms of, if he would have rested, probably would never happen. Probably would have he'll rebuild his muscles, get back into it. But because of the fact it's the finals, and granted, everyone knew that he was going to play, it happened. It ruptured his thing. Damian Lillard had the blood clots. As much as we don't want to say that might have a correlation, I'm going to be standing there. There's probably a lot of correlation towards it. Jason Tatum, I don't really know that one, but
just popped.
Yeah, that one
was unfortunately.
But then again, that could have been a situation where he was injured, but it wasn't on the injury report type of thing.
He could have been feeling it, and he just wasn't treating it well. I also like to throw out there, because I do believe you want to believe that they're getting the top, they're keeping their bodies in shape, and they're playing in tip-top shape.
Yeah.
But it's like, I don't know where it stems from, but what I can talk to you about, or like where I can give my opinion on, is the Tyrese Halliburton aspect, because you did say it was inevitable, and that's actually so true, to the point where the Pacers actually knew. I don't know if you saw that quote or what was going on, but the Pacers knew going into Game 7 the risk of him playing.
Yeah, for sure.
And Tyrese knew it himself, and they let Tyrese make the call on that. Now, I also want to get your opinion on that, and obviously everyone in here, y'all, we want your opinions too. Obviously, we see the chat popping off. We gonna go in there really quick. I just want to get this this one part out from your brain, I guess you could say. Tyrese Halliburton made the call on whether he was going to play or not. His words were, if I go in and if I'm playing bad, take me out and I'll rest. If I go in and I'm playing well, keep me in.
Should have played bad.
We gonna keep playing.
He should have played bad.
And in result, now I just want to paint the picture, because I don't really know how to feel about this. Tyrese came in, made the most amount of threes within the entire game, only played part of the first quarter before he popped his freaking Achilles. Made like 3 back-to-back threes and popped his Achilles, right? And it all ended up being for him to lose the finals, essentially.
Mm-hmm.
So in that way, if you view it in that perspective, it wasn't worth it.
But then again, you can't go back and say, if this would have happened, it's the what if game,
It really is.
Because it's like, he didn't think going in that, granted, he knew that there's an increased risk of that happening, but who would have thought maybe he would have played the whole game and everything would have been fine?
I think there's a possibility where maybe he should have been on some type of minutes restriction, whereas, like, even if he was hot or not, like, I feel like they should have tested it out first.
But the thing is, he only played the first quarter, so it's not even like he played a lot of minutes.
It wasn't. How many did he actually play specifically?
6 minutes?
Yeah, you would have been. You can't really do much.
I'm gonna pull it up because I don't have the exact details on it. But I think from a standpoint, I feel like people aren't really looking at is like, yeah, injuries happen and like some of them, can be prevented. But that was a situation where that could have been prevented, and he took the risk, and the team took the risk because of the fact that they wanted to win it because they were at the final game. I don't blame Tyrese at all, because if I was in the situation, I would probably play.
He played 7 minutes.
Played 7 minutes. There's not even a minute. That is his minutes restriction.
Yeah.
So like the thing is, like at the end of the day, like wishing him a speedy recovery, and that's gonna suck. But he can get back better than ever. But this Pacers team just went from a team we're looking at in a situation where we're like, wow, this team next year they're gonna put up some competition in the East, to all of a sudden a team looking at like, ooh, they're gonna have a year of just mediocre basketball.
To be fair, I mean they could still make a playoff run.
Yeah, but they're not saying top 4. They're not top 5. They might just make playing. I'm saying with that team, because
could they not make top 4 though?
You're saying Tyrese, right?
Nah,
you're saying when I saw the plus or minus with Tyrese on the floor, he's like plus 19 when Tyrese Halliburton's on the floor, and it's like minus 30 when he's off. So like even though as much as people might not think he's a legit superstar, I think he's a great superstar. I don't think he's like a top tier superstar, but I think he's fantastic. The thing at the end of the day we got to take in consideration is he's the ball handler for that team. Nembhard can try his best and he does a good job at that, but Tyrese Halliburton is that ball handler of that team. He's that guy, the clutch guy. He was freaking making these game time shots. You look at game 1 in OKC, he that game winner. Like you look at the New York Knicks when he hit that game time when he went like this, which pisses me off to this day. But like, granted he did it and he does it well. But now at the end of the day, you're looking at a Pacers team where if you look at the East right now, I'm gonna take your phone real quick.
Go ahead.
You look at the East right now, next season, Cleveland. I'm talking about contenders that can make big
out of
dumps.
the East.
Out of the East, because the East is weak, like we like to call it. Jinx. Cleveland, Boston. I as much as Boston, as much as Boston doesn't have Jason Tatum, we got to remember that this Boston team plays better without Jason Tatum than they do with him. Like if we look at the plus or minuses, and even throughout the playoffs, and throughout the regular season, they had a better record without without Jason Tatum than they did with him on.
I think in the regular season I could see where your point comes from there.
Playoffs, I don't think they're going far.
I just think Jason Tatum didn't have the best year that we know he could have had. I think he was a little inconsistent here and there, and I think that's why that's results in it. But I do also like if we're gonna say that, I also want to throw out there like they can't do anything without him in the playoffs. They literally can't. Yeah. Because that he turned on. He simply was there that playoff series against the Knicks, and they just.
Right now, we're just talking about the top teams in the regular season going into it, because you got, I think Boston, I think they're going to fall off. Granted, I think Jason Tatum's their best player, if not one of their best players on the team. But at the end of the day, you look at this Boston team, they still have a great team if they keep everybody. Because we don't know, granted, what Boston's going to do this offseason, because they're without Jason Tatum for a whole year. They might just try to get value with whatever they can, right? Or it might be a Jaylen Brown year where he shows up and drops 30 a game, and he might want to get traded after that.
But it's also going to change because they still have to make. Let's not forget that they still have to make moves because cap space is not fair for them. Even if Jason Tatum's not playing, he's still on the roster.
Yeah, for sure.
So they do have to make moves. I just don't know what moves are going to be happening.
Yeah, but
where players are going to be going, which is going to shake the league up.
100%. But then you got Cleveland. I don't think Boston's going to drop that bad. I think they're going to be around 6, 7 in that area. Still think they make the playoffs. 6, 7 on the So we got Cleveland, New York Knicks, obviously. Detroit will be up there. Like we're putting Detroit in this list in top teams. Also, you got to say, if you're really looking at this from Orlando after the Desmond Bane trade,
100%.
So you're talking about the top 4 teams, in my opinion, in the East next year being friggin' Cleveland, New York Knicks, Orlando Magic, and the Detroit Pistons. And this is not to say that they aren't great teams, but if you look at this season, those teams, only 2 of them finished in the top 3. And after that, Detroit and Magic finished 6 and 7.
I gotta be honest with you, the team that's probably gonna take the biggest fall off, depending on if Giannis leaves or not, is the Bucks. Because the Bucks, no matter what, if the Bucks lose Giannis in the offseason through a trade, that Bucks team probably won't even make the play-in.
Yeah,
not even joking.
Because I'm assuming that Giannis is not going to be there.
Yeah, and Dame is out for the rest of the year.
That's why. I mean, I think because we were all looking at Giannis' situations, like Giannis wanted another guy with him in Milwaukee when they just won a chip like a couple of years ago before Dame got there. He was like, we might see Giannis leaving. Like that was a situation, the headlines, and all of a sudden they got somebody. They got Dame, and that didn't really work out for 2 years. And then all of a sudden he's out for the year. Giannis might be on his way out, and I think he should be. And we already explained where he should go. But you look at this East, you're looking at a situation where you might see teams, the top 4 consisting of Cleveland Cavs, the New York Knicks, Detroit Pistons, and the Orlando Magic. And that's no discredit to these other teams, but I think a team like Toronto, when Brenton Ingram comes back too, they just missed the playoffs last season.
I
They can make
forgot that he was there.
They can make a 7 seed. They can make a 6 seed with this week of an East. I don't know. I think
Brooklyn too, right? Brooklyn too.
No, Brooklyn's
what do you mean? What do you mean? What do you mean? Brooklyn.
No, Brooklyn's not going to make it.
Brooklyn the 60s.
It's just I think the teams that
no,
I think some teams just fall off, especially the teams that were in the top 6. I guarantee 3 of them will either be 6 or lower.
Listen, we're gonna go into this. I do want to go into the comments really quick because there's a lot of
on the highway.
Yes.
Guys, shout out to everyone in the chat. Appreciate y'all.
Shout out to everyone, man. But we gonna go into it.
Where are we up to?
No, yeah, I think you gotta keep going, right?
Oh damn. Right here.
Yeah.
Hold up.
Keep going.
Damn.
Keep going. There. Wait. Keep going.
Right here. Said blue is my first. Your favorite color. Blue is my favorite color too. He said. Nice says Eric looks like he got that 10 out of 10 customer service. My pleasure. You said Eric. How do you say it? My pleasure.
I'm not saying it.
Welcome to Chick-fil-A. How may I take your order?
I don't work at Chick-fil-A.
I want extra sauce, please.
I'm not giving you no extra sauce.
Say my pleasure.
Fluff you.
Hey.
I'm fired. Go ahead.
6, 7. You never see those videos on Instagram where it says Chick-fil-A worker crashes out. Nope. They're freaking well off.
They hide it. Simple.
I think it's like one of those Get Out movies where like they just like in the back they just like try to brainwash you.
My pleasure. My pleasure. They like watching TV. Brainwash. My pleasure.
Exactly. And then Nye says now the Pistons got to go all in on Giannis and not get him either. Listen, I don't think Giannis is going to be going to the Detroit Pistons as much as that sucks to say.
I mean, if he wants an easy finals appearance, by all means. But if you want to,
yeah. But the thing is, he can still have he can still make it to the finals with that Spurs team.
He definitely could. I'm saying I said easy. That's what I meant. Like, if you just want to walk to the finals, by all means.
I guess so. Just like how he did when he won the chip.
Did he though?
I mean, they versed the Atlanta Hawks in the conference finals.
But the Atlanta Hawks, nah.
The Atlanta Hawks. That was Trae Young's year.
I saw a post saying the Bucks, the Bucks, Pacers, and Celtics all lost key players, and someone posted they copied it and said, "Yo, if Joel Embiid don't make it out of the East this year, I don't know what to say anymore, my boy." I was cracking up.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I think Joel Embiid's career is on the downhill.
I think we're incredibly sleepy on the Sixers because of the fact that Joel Embiid can't move.
Well, the thing is,
if he can move,
Eric, the thing is they can't just do it without Tyrese Halliburton, without Tyrese Maxey. Like we seen last year, Tyrese Maxey was the number 1 guy on that team, and they still.
That's because Embiid couldn't move.
I know, but Embiid's been out, and I don't think he's gonna be playing that good.
He should have been playing the entire year. He should have taken the whole year off.
But here's the thing: when Embiid came back, he was still butt cheeks. Like it wasn't MVP Embiid.
He's gonna play every other game now.
They
literally gave him an MVP for him to play every other game. Nah, bro. Jokic should have 4 MVPs.
But they should have 5.
No, you always say this.
No, sorry, the Luka one. Yeah. 6 on the highway. Bear said, shout out to Bear. Bear's in the face. He said, poor honey.
So funny, Bear. So funny, Bear.
We got to pull up the photo.
No, we don't.
PVM10 said, to be honest, in the MLB, who the F is stopping the Cubs? They blew out the Dodgers last time they played them 16-0. They beat the Mets 6-2, and they beat the Phillies 11-4. They beat a trash team. They beat a trash team, the Athletics, 18-3. Listen, they're definitely the best offensive powerhouse in all of baseball right now.
Yeah.
Kyle Tucker, freaking Armstrong looking like an MVP candidate for the National League. It's looking good. And right now, the current thing they're playing right now, they're losing. Oh,
well, there you go. The Cardinals are the answer.
They're losing 6-1, 6-1, 6-1, 6-1. They're losing.
Listen, I don't get too hyped about baseball in like regular season series, because realistically, baseball to me, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, it's a very hard sport to like fully predict all the time. You know what I mean? Because all you need is one good day. I mean, granted, that is any other sport, but for baseball, it's a little bit different for me because of the fact that like they're offensively consistently they are good, but come a playoff series, we don't know what's gonna happen.
Mm-hmm.
We really don't know what's gonna happen.
It's true. It's the unpredictability of baseball. It's a lot of matchups, a lot of statistics.
It's hard to you can't really game plan. Like you can game plan as far as like what you're gonna do in the game, but it's like if someone's having a day, someone's having a day.
Yeah,
like,
baseball's weird in the sense where you're 1v1ing one person
A lot
of the time, and then your team gets incorporated and has to come up with great plays to help with your back to your 1v1.
Exactly.
So it's kind of the situation where it's like individual team sport, I like to call it. And if anyone played baseball, you know what I'm talking about, because there's a lot of sports that's just like, I mean, I can't really think of another sport that's individual team sport. Like, I really can't.
Well, I mean, there is none. There's what, cricket?
Yeah, I guess that's the only similarity, I guess, right?
What position did you play in baseball?
Second baseman.
Where do you think I would be?
You?
Yeah. You see me play soccer, so you know that you see me run track. You know enough about me. Where am I playing? Chat, where do you think I'm playing in baseball? Let me know.
Chat, be nice.
You don't know me.
But I think our last conversation that we had.
No left bench.
I'm going right bench.
No. No left bench.
Based off our last conversation that we had about baseball.
All right. Let me. Honestly though,
like you're not gonna swing at the pitcher after he hits you. You're not gonna back away. You're not gonna back away from the.
I would have never backed away. You're
not gonna. He's gonna come in. You're not gonna swing.
No. I will always swing, but if he hits me, I'm gonna be pissed. I always swing.
All right, listen. I think if you actually,
if I actually was like a player,
if you actually played baseball and you actually dedicated years to it, I could probably see you. Probably say outfield. Yes. Yeah, I'll say outfield.
I always said if I wanted to play, I want to play outfield.
No offense, but I don't think your reflexes are good enough for third base.
Nah, I've seen it before.
Crazy.
Yeah, no way.
Shortstop. I don't know if you got that hard throwing arm.
Yeah.
Where you can just throw it in there. Second baseman, I'm not trying to discredit my second baseman, but that's why I played, because it was like nice, easy throws. I mean, you still gotta make plays. You still gotta dive and slide and get the double plays.
What about first?
First base, it's still hard because you gotta field the ball that they're throwing it to.
Fair.
But I think, and also you're getting hot shots from lefties.
Yeah.
So and also your pitcher, you would not be a pitcher.
No.
I think
definitely.
I think center fielder is where I'd put you.
In the
right in the middle, because usually center fielders are the fastest players because they have to cover both sides.
I appreciate you,
but because I used to play second base and center fields for my team, depending on what inning we were in or what the rotation was.
I think.
Look, chat. Phil said. I think I would say right outfield. Listen, I'm telling you.
Let's go. Let's go, chat.
Now says I put Eric at second, but I wouldn't put you at shortstop. But first doesn't do anything. First, they do stuff. They gotta pick the ball.
I think
Maybe Intense at outfield.
You know why I don't think I could play first or third?
What? Fernando said outfield. Everyone say
yes.
Dan said free agent.
all right, Dan. Okay, Dan. All right, Dan. I honestly believe, like, wholeheartedly, I would have to be locked in. I think I could make the play, but I would have to be locked in the whole game, and I can't do that because it's such a slow game. I'd be like this. I'd be like locked in on the play.
Speaking of which, look at I just said
not outfielder. Eric would get too bored. No. The difference is if I was at third base, there'd be one split second where I'd just be like, and then the ball would go past me.
You would bot out. And you'd be like, what happened? They'd be like, yeah, the ball just went past you. You got a double.
Outfield, I'd probably be talking to my outfielders. I'd probably be like, yeah. Like
I will tell you this. Outfield is boring though. Outfield is boring.
Because you don't really do much.
I mean you do
a
couple of times, but
it makes it more fun though. Because I tell you what though, when you need to go, I'd be the one to steal so many home runs. You know when they jump up on the wall,
rob them,
oh my gosh.
Oh yeah,
I'd be known for that. If I was a really good baseball player, if I was like prime baseball, that's the thing I'd be.
You
known
gotta
for.
Rewind the clock, or you gotta see it.
And I'd be a base runner. That's it. I wouldn't be no home run hitter, nothing like that. I'd probably hit doubles at most. Simple.
But now it says, why are we talking about championships though? Our glorious King LeBron James told us rings don't matter. Yeah, Shay and Chet got a ring. Who cares? Rings don't matter according to the GOAT. Yeah, listen, I have something to say about that.
Yeah, go. You know what? Take it. I have something to say about it too, but go on.
LeBron James said that on his podcast, saying that when did this ring culture be such a big deal? And I'm like, brother, then why'd you go to Miami? Tell me. Like, what if you don't think rings are that big of a deal? Then why the hell did you leave Cleveland, your hometown, the town that you loved, apparently, and go to Miami?
See, David, the reason I went to Miami was because I understood that ring culture mattered. But I'm just trying to say I don't understand why it matters so much.
Yeah, but LeBron, I know why it matters so much because you're scared of the GOAT conversation.
Listen here, buddy. You talking about my son? Are you talking about my son?
Your son sucks, LeBron.
All love. But go ahead.
But the thing is, like, at the end of the day, I think it's more of a thing for him.
His son sucks.
I think at the end of the day, it's just like it's weird because of the fact that like you're bringing this up at a weird time because you're at the end of your career. You didn't bring this up earlier on. You bring it up now at the end of your career, and at the end of the day, you're looking at a thing and saying rings don't matter, even though we gauge it as one of the things deeming success. Because at the end of a year, right, you win it, you're the best team, right? Granted, so you're the best team you remembered. No one remembers. Who do you remember more? The team that won the championship or the team that won the MVP or the player that won the MVP?
Team that won the championship.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So it's going back to the team trophy. Granted, we're not saying those other individuals' trophies are not big, but we're saying rings do matter. And I think that what he's bringing in is he's trying to make it deem as not a big deal, just so he makes his GOAT argument because he's only got 4 and Jordan's got 6.
So
but I think it's so weak. It's so calorie because if Kobe was on the freaking podcast, he would never even say that to him.
But see, I'm gonna what you guys are gonna watch me do is I'm gonna work this out with you guys live right now, right? Because I don't really know how I feel about the two situations. Like I'm more leaning towards that side though. Like ring culture does matter regardless of the situation. But what I want to bring up is I watched more of the clip. I was able to get more of the clip and. He had compared what he was trying to do is, and this is obvious. It goes without saying realistically, because I feel like it goes without saying regardless.
Mm-hmm.
But he's like, we don't acknowledge how good players that haven't won are actually. And he was like, that's why he doesn't understand why if you don't get a ring, it's so frustrating to like not acknowledge like your T-Max or your Barkleys or soon to be probably Westbrooks or players in that caliber that are AI,
Dan Marino, any type of sport, though.
They don't get acknowledged the way I guess they should be in that situation. But my argument, I guess you could say in that aspect is one, people that don't acknowledge those players as all-time greats.
They don't know ball.
Simple, right?
Yeah.
They just don't understand that they don't understand the game. And also, rightfully so, right? Let's just be so honest, guys. The whole point and premise of playing sports is to win. Let's just be so real. There's other things that you learn while you gain sports, but nobody plays at a competitive level, at least, to just play. No one does that. You play to win. This is your job. Your job is to win, right? In the NBA, your job is, yes, to entertain, but realistically, you're getting paid by an organization to go out and win games. Mm-hmm. That is it. Right? And if you sell tickets, it's all plus, but they want you to win because that's gonna generate the ultimate revenue. When it comes to that stuff, the reason we measure rings the way we do is because it is so hard to not only win, but be dominant within the aspect. Because if that wasn't the case, we wouldn't be able to determine certain players and the gap between certain players in certain aspects like that. For example, if Bron never won, right? If Bron never won right now, we wouldn't even be talking about Bron right now. I'm going to be so honest with you. We wouldn't be at all. That's how important rings are, realistically. You have to have at least one because it transcends you to a different level in sports. It's that simple. Charles Barkley, amazing player, top 75 player. Allen Iverson, amazing player, top 75 player.
The thing is, I don't understand. It's like they're still getting acknowledgement. Like those players in the top 75, like you mentioned, so they're getting acknowledgement. I just think LeBron saying that, I think it goes deeper. I think what he was trying to say, I think it was two things. I think he actually means it, that he thinks that they should give credit to the people who have no rings. But also, I think there's another meaning behind it. When people try to say nice things, but they actually mean a whole different thing.
Yeah,
I think that's what he's trying to do, and it's really pissed me off because LeBron does a lot, and it really irritates me because it's like he gives excuses as to why something isn't happening. And it gets me so mad because this is an excuse for him because of the fact that Jordan has 6 and he will never be considered better than him in other people's eyes because of that number, But also, like, I understand the situation where who scored?
Yeah, you have to wait. It just came in.
Hold up, we gotta see the commentary.
Like it literally just came in.
But I'll let you know. The thing at the end of the day is just the fact that they get acknowledged. We have debates all the time from people saying who's the best basketball player that's never won a ring? Who's the best football player that's never won a ring? Dan Marino gets considered as one of the best quarterbacks of all time without a ring.
And you know what it is? At the end of the day, these players are great but they won't ever be put in a certain category as other players. And we're not going to sit here and obviously have the argument because, like, no one's sitting here and saying that Robert Horry is better than Allen Iverson. Like, you understand what I'm saying? And Robert Horry has won how many championships? The list goes on and on and on.
Oh, brother.
Oh God. But the list is endless with that, right? There's so many players. Look, Alex Caruso just got a second ring this year. You think he's better than Allen Iverson all time?
Yes.
Alex Caruso probably would never be better than Allen Iverson all time.
Why not?
There's no chance.
Why not?
What?
6'7" on the highway.
Yeah, if you don't. My point is like everyone has enough IQ to take that debate, right? And use
what the hell is this guy?
I didn't even see.
Alente.
It's a gold. Everyone has enough IQ in the game to be able to balance between rings and also player ability. But if we want to talk about the entire what it really is it's the entire scope. How much did you do of everything that well? That's what it comes down to. And at the end of the day, like, you can't say that ring culture doesn't matter. I do agree in this era, though. See, now I'm going to play the other side. This era, I feel like we can't push ring culture so heavy to the point where if you don't win a ring, you're not respected. Because there is some spaces in some areas, called ESPN, where like players get disrespected so much just because they can't get it done.
Eric, but here's the thing. Just because a main social media platform does that doesn't mean that everyone else in the world is doing that. The thing that gets me annoyed is the fact that when people are trying to speak about somebody, but they speak when they're trying to prove a point about one person, but they're speaking to everyone like it's everyone else's fault. It's like when you're saying that, what LeBron should have said is that so because why would he not out other places? Because he's done that before. He's out of ESPN. He's out of Stephen A. Smith. So why can't he be like? He
should have just added them, to be honest.
Well, I'm saying if that's what he's referring to, but I feel like he's not because he would have said it. You know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah, that's very true. There's no need to like protect your PR at this point. You're LeBron freaking James. Now I agree with you in that aspect. I also at the end of the day though, I agree with David saying I think it's nonsensical in the sense to be like, I don't understand why ring culture is so important. The reason it's important is because winning is important, and that's what we remember.
And then don't be a hypocrite because you're the reason why you went to Miami was to. What was it? Why did you go to Miami? For the warm weather?
to win a ring?
Oh, there you go. To win a ring. So
went to go team up with Bosh and Wade.
Winning a ring does have importance.
You understood it, man. You understood it, and it's that simple. But
6'7" on the highway. Freaking, let's see what everyone has to say about LeBron, though. But the sad thing is that this is the first thing we're talking about basketball.
I'm so glad you brought that up. I was gonna say this much. It's crazy how in this podcast, we've talked about Tyrese Halliburton snapping his Achilles, LeBron James. Even if we just touched base on it, at least we haven't even dove into it really. LeBron James making comments about the league or like how people view it, right? And Kevin Durant getting traded to the Rockets, and we haven't touched on the fact that the Oklahoma City Thunder won their first championship. Dude, nobody cares. I'm so serious though.
It does, and honestly, ESPN today. I feel like what I heard. I think the only thing I heard today, I saw J-Dub on an interview with ESPN.
But like, it's so sad though, because really nobody actually cares that much. Nobody really cares what happened.
I mean, it's the lowest ratings they've had in a long time, and I think it's a lot to do with the small market teams. But if we're being real, I want to get into this, but I do want to get into the comments before we get into the NBA finals. But real quick, I'm not gonna go through all of them. Sorry, guys, but they're there. I'm just gonna go through the more recent ones that we were just talking about. Matt said you would be a great ball boy. Shout out to Badone.
Okay, Badone. That's not a position.
Yeah, it is. They wear uniforms.
That's not a position.
It's a good position.
I said if I was a baseball player. They don't play baseball. They're not on the field.
You could.
No.
Are we up to? He said PBM10 said outfield, but you ain't Aaron Judge though. But okay.
I said I wasn't hitting home runs. This guy, man.
Everyone's got to put you in check, even though
right? Isn't that crazy? I just said like, let me get a prediction. Everyone's like, oh, you're trash. Like what the heck?
Yes.
Yo, man.
You know what's funny? You only see it on guy chats. If it was like a girl doing like in your podcast, you'd be like, yes, queen, good stuff. Guys, it's like You suck. But it's
Oh
funny,
my
dude.
gosh.
Now he says, we look at left field and Eric's digging a hole with the stick. Yeah.
I'm not. All right. This guy thinks I'm that stupid, bro.
Yeah, you're from Sandlot, bro.
Yo, he looks around and you see me not a grown man, bro. Come on, man.
Be surprised. You know, but I will be honest. In outfield, when I used to play, amount of times where I would see my right fielder freaking meditating. It's crisscross applesauce. Just, just sitting like that. And I'm like, brother, the ball, the pitcher's pitch. He's like, nothing comes over here. And I'm like, all right, listen. And sometimes I'll be like this, my cleat just kicking the grass back and forth. I would make drawings. It was that boring.
It was that boring.
I mean, in Little League, you're not really getting a lot of hits.
Yeah, I was about to say, like the kids are
you know,
dingers.
I mean, but as I got older, I never really played outfield, so that's why I didn't really get that experience. But where are we up to? Phil said, shout out to Philip. Philip said, bro went to Miami to rain chase, huh? Exactly. It's hypocritical. It doesn't make any sense.
Oh, bro.
PBM 10. See, if Kobe said that, we would be
Kobe
like, okay.
would never know.
I know, but I'm saying if he said that, it would be okay. That's coming from Kobe.
Mm-hmm.
And this guy cared, you know? But like coming from LeBron, I just can't. He said, PBM 10 said, you're not gonna lie, I hate LeBron James, bro. He makes me so mad. I respect him, but he needs to retire.
He's gonna do his farewell tour this year.
Yeah, and then
they
have the friggin' dumb commercials with Amazon. He's at a press conference.
That pissed me off. I literally thought he was gonna drop something crazy, and he was like, "Oh, Amazon delivery." Yo, man, stop with this. You get paid enough.
Yeah, well, you gotta friggin' like just do it on purpose. Phil, we did that one. Philip said, "I feel like LeBron is wrong about that though, because people still remember players like Dan Marino and Allen Iverson, and if they don't, they got to know they got to get their ball knowledge up." That's what we're just referencing. Yeah, exactly.
It's what he's trying to say is that the way that they played, they should be in like higher conversations, but because they don't have a ring, they're not. And I don't disagree with that. I think that's right. I think that's how you should evaluate it.
Yeah, but who's not?
It's because we're not talking about individual ability. Because if that's the case, then that's a whole different other conversation. And believe it or not, that conversation also coincidentally pushes towards LeBron, which is funny enough to say.
That's why
right?
he bringing it up.
But at the end of the day, we're having a conversation about an all-around everything that you could possibly do within the game. So when you do that, that's why those players are not in that conversation, because the biggest point is to win, and they didn't do the biggest thing to do.
Yeah. Where are you to? Nye says, yes, we do acknowledge guys that haven't won. You know how many arguments we've had about best baller to never win a ring? Too many. Yeah, it's true. There's a lot of conversations. You see it on podcasts all the time. It's like the fact that if we didn't acknowledge these people, then why are people that never won a ring? Like, I'm going to bring up the two, Allen Iverson, Dan Marino. They played a long time ago. Why the hell are they still getting brought up today?
Because AI was legendary.
But he didn't win a ring. No,
AI
exactly.
Cross Jordan, bro. Like, we know about AI.
That proves the argument. It doesn't matter if you win a ring or not. You get remembered how legendary you were as a player.
For real.
You know? It's not regardless of, so-and-so. Like you said, Alex Caruso won a ring, so he's better than AI.
Like,
no, we remember AI more. Listen, I'm not trying to discredit Alex Caruso, but Alex Caruso is a great defender.
Yeah.
Great player. But, like, you remember AI because he did crazy things in the court. Never before seen. If Steph Curry never won any rings, you're telling me we would never remember Steph Curry?
It's just not true. He changed the game.
Exactly. But, he said, the correct answer is Carmelo Anthony, by the way. The best player never won a ring?
No.
In NBA?
It's not Melo.
Dude, Melo's up there, though.
Yeah, Melo's up there, but it's not Melo.
Melo's up there. You got AI.
You could say, I mean, one of the biggest ones I think is Russ. Russ got an MVP. So is Charles Barkley
too. Yeah, there's a lot of those.
T-Mac was also nasty.
That's true.
Like Russ to me, Russ did something that no one ever thought was gonna happen ever again. And he did it 3 times.
Yeah.
Like to me, Russ would take that.
Dan said Miami. I think he's talking about Inter Miami instead of
They're gonna win it all, by the way.
I mean, because it's rigged to them.
It's not.
Porto tied 1-1.
But it's not rigged though. They're beating teams. They beat Porto.
Oh, yeah. Look at Porto's squad.
What? What's wrong with it? They have a 19-year-old. Do you know about him?
Yeah, Mora. Bro, he's freaking terrible. I watched him play.
What do you mean?
No, I'm being dead serious.
He's 19. He's a Portuguese power.
No, he's a great dribbler. but the dude can't pass for crap. Like he's a ball hog before. Like it's so annoying. He's many opportunities where he's like, oh, let me dribble instead of passing the easy pass. He plays selfish.
Yo,
Which pisses me off.
David.
And also, you look at Porto's squad. Diogo Costa's not even in the lineup.
I swear, David knows every Portuguese player on planet Earth, bro. I literally I asked you this knowing that you know about him, but we've never spoken about him here or outside the podcast. I'm like, yo, you know about this kid? And you're like, yeah, of course.
Of course I know about this.
Yo, bro.
Rodrigo Mora.
This kid, 18 years old.
Listen,
He looks like he's 15.
Yeah, he looks young. But listen, he's a great talent, but he needs to learn how to pass the ball. Freaking selfish.
You know these people?
Majority of them.
Stop it. No, he's not Portuguese.
But I'm telling you, this lineup. João Mario, yeah. I'm telling you, this lineup is not the same that they had in the league. And it also, even if they had their best lineup, I still think they wouldn't win because of the fact that they finished third in the freaking Portuguese league this year.
Is this Fabio Vieira? What the heck is he doing here? No, he's at Arsenal.
He's on loan. Yep. PBM10 said, this is how I described my Knicks. He said, Cat, a zesty big player. Jalen Brunson, him. Josh Hart, someone who might leave, but also might not. Mikal Bridges, a boy who smacks threes and does not suck.
Yo, Luis Suarez needs to pack it up, bro.
Suarez looks like an old grandpa friggin' playing.
I don't know how he's still able to play. He looks like he can't run.
But next one, Philip said, it feels like a Mickey Mouse ring, if I'm being honest.
No, we're not doing this.
It's the Mickey Mouse
We're not
Clubhouse.
doing this. We have to stop with this.
It's fun inside.
No. That ring is
called.
deserved. Donald. No,
Daisy.
Here.
Nah, I think the Mickey Mouse one was the LeBron one and the Lakers one.
That also wasn't Mickey Mouse. You're Mickey Mouse.
It was in Orlando. It was in Disney.
And every single NBA player vouches to be that's one of the hardest rings to ever win.
Except for Steve Adams.
Steve Adams?
They literally because it's so stupid because LeBron.
Something else.
Wait.
You're talking about Steve Adams said it's not hard mentally. Every player has said that's probably the hardest basketball that I've ever played because of the purest form of it.
But we're talking about it's part of the game is mental too. I heard people in there saying, "Oh my gosh." I heard people saying it's like, "Oh, this is the worst thing. Being trapped in your hotel room is terrible." He's like, Steve Adams said it best. He's like, "Brother, we're in a resort, mate. Freaking, what do you want to say? Freaking crazy."
And also, I think Bron had his own area away from the resort too.
The thing is, I don't understand why I think it's not the most valued trip. It's because they had so much time off, and at that point, you're getting people coming back healthy, and not even that. Right after the playoffs, right after regular season, you go right into playoffs, so you don't even get time to really recoup. You have a month or two off, dude. You have your time. You get to recover. You get back into it. I think at that point, everyone plays fresh. But then you look at a situation where it's like everyone's fresh, just everyone's fair game. You know?
They was playing pickup basketball essentially at the highest level. The highest level of hoops.
But what are we up to? Dude, we got to get into the NBA Finals. We're already 45 minutes.
Amen.
That's crazy.
Oh, Lord. Shout out to y'all. We can't get to all of these.
Nah, says, Eric, I know you don't mess with the supernatural, but you saved and all that. But Corey Perry should be proof that curses exist. 6 years, 5 Stanley Cup appearances, 0-5. Tragic. That's crazy.
You know what that sounds like?
What?
Sucks to suck, buddy. Get good. Simple as that. Sounds like a skill issue.
Change your last name. He said, no, Eric, I don't believe that you're stupid. I just think you'll get bored. You're talking about the outfield.
I'm not that ADHD prone where I'm going to be drawing freaking holes in the ground.
You never played outfield. I understand what he's trying to say.
You think I would do that?
Get bored? I think you would start playing with the grass.
I'm allergic to grass.
Well, with your feet, not with your hands. Like kicking it.
Yeah, I'd be like, cha. You know what I'm saying?
But it gets boring sometimes. How are we up to? Philip said, we got Mickey Mouse. We got Mickey Shea Mouse. Said Donald Chet Duck. Daisy Jalen Duck. Bless you.
Thank you.
Minnie Lou Dort Mouse and Goofy Crusoe and Pluto Hartenstein the dog. Listen.
Stop it.
The whole cast. He said, and people said, how after the Oilers lose 2 games in a row against Florida?
Skill issue.
Corey Perry. PB10. That's how. He said, Mario said, fellas, Mario. Come on, Mario. Appreciate you popping out, my guy.
Dang,
Hope you're doing great.
it has been a while, man. How you been?
Missed you. Hope everything's all right, bro.
Yeah.
He said Mario. He said, "Hey, buddy, I'm deeply concerned. Have you been gone a while?" So, nah, what's going on? He said, "Mario, I'm trying out a new nickname. I am now, till further notice, to be called." No,
I'm not calling you that, brother.
no one's calling you that.
Big man. I'm not calling you that, big man.
Mario said, "Can't wait till football. Baseball sucks." As of right now.
Mario, I think Mario said the same thing around last year too. Mario was like, "Oh, I can't stand baseball, man."
Hold up, Palmeiras.
On. Palmeiras into Miami winning the whole thing. Yo, Mario, you might
want to go see them?
No. Yeah, I'm okay. Honestly, maybe low key, cause you us both. You know what I'm saying?
We'll be fine.
I hope they didn't see that. Did they see me speak? No, yeah. Imagine. You can go now. Watch the Steelers have to fill out now.
Nah, they're still like $5 tickets. Mario said, "Leave a like, guys, fellas. These guys deserve." Thank you, Mario. As always,
Mario.
Listen to Mario, guys. Drop that like down below. Subscribe if you're new. Share the show to everyone that you know. PVN 10 said, I know we're talking about basketball. But are we going to ignore the fact that the Reds beat the Orioles this season 24-2? Literally a football score.
What?
Yeah, that was crazy.
I didn't see that.
It was a while ago.
How long ago was it?
Closer to a month ago, maybe.
World Baseball Classic. No, I'm kidding.
Oh, Clásico.
El Clásico.
6-7 on the highway.
No, I'll just look up. Wait, what was the teams? Sorry.
Orioles and Reds.
The Cincinnati Reds.
You got to pee?
No, I just can't stand still.
Okay.
My apologies.
Which is why you can't play battlefield.
Can't stand still, mate. I'll be jogging back and forth though. What the? Okay, this was
like a month ago.
Oh my god, I missed this. How did I miss this? Oh Lord, 24-2. Yo,
That's
stop
good.
playing.
Did everyone get a hit? They better get a hit. Oh, he still went 0 for 2. Buddy. Guy went 0 for 2. Mario said, "How cute, David and Eric together." Yes, Mario, we're back.
Mario, shut up.
And I want you to say the name, but I'm not saying it either. I'm not saying it.
Yeah, I want to make sure it was exactly what I thought it was. Yeah, no.
He says, "Got my official fantasy team name." He said,
No. Nice. You can't make your fantasy team that name. Nice, you can't. I'm like for everyone right now, because we will have a fantasy league. I expect to see all of you guys in it.
Yes.
This name is banned.
No. The last part you should be able to have.
All right, so you can say it then.
No, I really can't.
When we do our review, you can say it.
This is why we have a biracial type of podcast.
Oh, so I can just say
you say so like when I'm talking, you say it, and then it sounds
so
like
I come in and then
exactly.
Dave Chappelle.
Exactly. Yeah. You remember that one?
Yes, of course.
You say you don't have the pass. Yeah, you do. Anyway.
No, watch. Now he's not coming to and start pressing his head off.
Stop.
Why PVM? Why, bro?
That's on purpose, bro.
They must not know him.
Let's get into NBA though. Let's get into NBA.
Let's do it.
OKC wins their first championship in their history. You got to give them shots to them. Not only that, they beat them by 12 points. I think it was 103-91 off the top of my head. And they versed an OKC. They played in Oklahoma City.
What is it?
I don't know.
Why you leave? Yo,
they won. Thunder won 103.
They use the government. That's why.
Yeah. OKC won 103-91 against a Halliburtonless. He said, "I'm gonna behave. Don't worry." Thank you, Naj.
Thank you, Naj. I appreciate you. Awesome. I appreciate you because you can't crash bad. You can't crash so bad.
PVM 10, stop talking, bro.
No, you're.
It's all right. Just leave it.
PVM, you're actually getting tight. No, you just don't think.
That's funny. But real quick, OKC wins their first championship, 103-91.
This guy, you man, you does.
And they win in Game 7 at home. Thoughts on this game? Before we get into more about next year.
To be honest, I can understand why no one's talking about it because once Tyrese went down, let's be real. I mean, Pacers were up at a certain point. They made it interesting, but realistically, the Thunder was gonna win. Like it was only a matter of time. They couldn't keep up. They didn't really have a guard. TJ McConnell was cooking at one point, but that was pretty much it. Benedict found some form at the end of the game. But realistically, like we all knew what was gonna happen. We all knew the end game. If Tyrese was there, it might have been different, but I can't say that because we really don't know. That's a he said, or like what if, I guess you could say. But overall, the best team won, in my opinion. The better team won. I've thought OKC have been the best basketball team all year long, and they proved it even more so. So congrats to OKC, man. First title in Oklahoma history, I guess you could say. And yeah, first banner for them as well in Oklahoma.
Yeah, I mean, real simple. Congratulations to OKC. Getting your first one in Oklahoma is fantastic. I feel like the game as a whole, I think I give more respect to the Pacers than I do OKC. I understand OKC won, but the Pacers played their hearts out. Like I'm not trying to be like dramatic type of thing. Like it's serious. Like Tyrese Halliburton went down with an injury. Everyone thought it was over. They kept it close at halftime. Obviously, after that, kind of fell apart. But it's hard to do that when you don't have your star player at away in OKC. How loud that place is. And also not to mention that Tyrese Halliburton had 9 points, 3 threes. He shot in just 6-7 minutes. So God knows what would have happened if Tyrese Halliburton stayed in the game because he looked hot. Overall, I got to give my shout out to OKC. They did great. Shea, congratulations, the whole team for winning their first championship. And not only that, going on to the Pacers, shout out to them for just competing because a lot of people had you either gentleman sweep. They had you at 6 games the most. And that was a successful season for you. But at the end of the day, you guys played hard and you played as a team and you got up to 7. But it is what it is.
Hey, man, Indiana, y'all suck, man. No, let me stop. I'm joking. Yeah, all credit due, man. This is something that I genuinely will not forget. This Pacers run is something I won't forget. This Tyrese Halliburton run is something I definitely won't forget for eons to come. It's going to be one of those stories that you definitely do talk about in the future. Like, yo, y'all wasn't there for when Tyrese Halliburton was going crazy, though. Y'all wasn't really there. So it's respect where it's due. I'm more interested, honestly, in because I feel like everything that was going to happen happened. Like, you thought the Thunder was going to win the series. I thought the Thunder was going to win the series.
I just thought in 7.
Yeah. Half the people in the freaking nation thought the Thunder was going to win the series. So it's like, and Shea won Finals MVP. There's nothing different that changed, realistically. My thing that I'm more interested in talking about is kind of next year and kind of moving on from already. Thunder got their chip. And the one thing I will say, Shea does put himself, as much as I know you don't really, it's not that you don't like him, but like you don't.
I like him. I just don't like how he always foul baiting.
But Shea does put himself in elite company. Shea has had one of the best regular seasons that we've ever seen, genuinely. And it's tough to say because, like I said, the same thing I said about Tyrese Halliburton, remember him in years to come. We're going to go back years from now. We're going to be like, how am I going to explain to my kid or some youngin' that this season is one of the best individual performances that we've ever seen, yet half the time all he did was just cause fouls. It's like, how do you explain it to somebody?
You say, look at his field goals, how many free throws he shot.
He broke the league. He broke the league, but not in the way I don't want to discredit Shea, but it's like,
but it's factual. It's just like
it's weird. It doesn't feel.
Here's the thing: if you're getting foul calls, but you're actually getting fouled, totally fine. If you're leading the league in free throws, like Giannis actually gets fouled, whether we want to believe it or not.
You can't
stop him.
Yeah.
So he actually goes to the line. He's like, I think, top 5 in free throws per game in the regular season. Respectfully so. No one's talking about how Giannis is a foul baiter. Because you can't stop him. He's not flopping for the foul. Shea is flopping for the fouls. That's the only difference. You know, if you get fouled, if I foul Eric like this 20 different times, right? Rightfully so, you should go to the line. But if I'm at the ball and I'm going like this 20 different times, you don't deserve that type of credit in terms of that sense. But granted, I don't want to take this away talking about a Shea type of bashing. But overall, I think he had a great season, like you said. going down as one of the best Thunder players in history. That's weird to say, but it's true.
I'm not even gonna. No, we have to. This is what we do.
Is Shea better than Russell Westbrook?
No, is Shea the best Thunder player of all time?
Well, yeah. You gotta say it. You want an MVP. Russell Westbrook got an MVP.
So does Kevin Durant.
So that's already there. The only thing I was missing was the NBA championship, and he got one. And it's not like Shea can't compete in the numbers. I think the only thing I would put probably Russell Westbrook above him because he played a lot more games with OKC.
Yeah.
And he's more of a legend for that team.
Yeah.
That's the only way I can put Russell Westbrook above him. But other than that, triple doubles as well. Shea has good numbers.
See, because what the conversation is, it's similar. It's not the same, but it's similar to the conversation that I've had before about the Denver Nuggets and Carmelo and Nikola Jokic.
Mm-hmm.
When Nikola won his first championship. I will say
Nikola is better at Denver Nuggets.
Well, now he definitely
I think it's different because Melo didn't win MVPs.
That's the only difference between the two. But it's like, when I look at Shea, that's the one thing I want to say. It's like, it's hard to sit there, and I think that's why a lot of people don't really talk about it, because it's hard to sit there and look at Shea and the way he plays and be like, wow, he really dominated everything. When in reality, he definitely did. Don't get me wrong, but it wasn't like James Harden, when James Harden literally broke the league and was causing fouls, and there was nothing that you could do about it because it was a foul. This situation, Shea's good at drawing contact, and some of the fouls that he gets are fouls. But then there's also fouls where he's just over-exaggerating.
He pushes off
and
somebody.
The ref's calling it. It's an acting job.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, it's hard to kind of like sit with the fact that this is one of the best regular seasons that I've ever seen.
And yeah, I think Bear says the best. He's on paper, Shea is the best Oklahoma City player. But in reality, it's Russ and will forever be Russ because of the fact that, I don't know, just the impact he had on the court. And I think Shea's, as much as people don't think, like PBM tends to, Shea's not a free throw merchant. So I don't care what y'all say. I think it's ignorant. I think you can respect a player, but also call out the truth. You know? I think he's not a free throw merchant. I'm not going to go that far.
Yeah, I just think
think he's a flopper.
I think it's safe to say that his game does rely around the free throw line, getting to the line. Because if Shea couldn't get to the line, if he wasn't getting calls.
And the thing that pisses me off is that Shea's a great scorer. I've seen Shea make crazy shots with defense on him, you know? But the thing is, it's like when you're causing the fouls and you're getting the foul calls, it's really frustrating.
The only difference is he's not as good of a three-point shooter.
Yeah.
Right? Than most guards. And on top, he's a killer in the mid-range, though.
He shot 2 for 12 from 3 in this game.
Yeah, like he was chucking up shots, to be honest with you. But he's a killer in the mid-range, though.
Mm-hmm.
It's just, if he doesn't have those free throws, every game is different. But, hey, man, he does. And, like, even when he shoots freaking 8 for 27.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. It's
still dropped 29 points.
Now you got me crazy because I don't want to see it.
8 for 27, bro.
What's his field goal percentage in the playoffs?
Yo, come on. Like, how do you explain that to someone that he actually played an amazing game of basketball? He had 29 points and 12 assists.
What would you define as a good free field goal and 3-point percentage? Chad, what do you think? What's a good field goal percentage?
Field goal percentage?
Yeah, what's a good?
Am I being generous? Or am I just being honest?
Just be honest.
50.
50 and higher?
50%. Yeah, 50% higher.
In this playoffs, he shot 46%. Not terrible.
For the volume that he shoots at, not terrible.
He also took 21 shots and he made 10. 3-point percentage. What do you think?
That has to be a good 3-point percentage is 40 and up. I can be generous and be like 38. 30, 35 is like pushing it.
Okay.
But like
shot 28%.
Oh, that's bad.
Yeah, that's bad.
That's bad.
Granted, Shea's not a 3-point shooter, and we know that.
But that's bad. No, he's not a 3-point shooter, but he took
exactly.
He took 12.
It means that you're taking too many unnecessary shots.
Oh my goodness.
But listen, I don't want to take this as a hating thing, even though it might sound like it.
Yeah.
But it's just like
it's just the facts.
It's just that's all I'm gonna say. Palmeiras trying to get that penalty.
Where's Messi, bro? Just get the ball to Messi. Look, isn't the World Cup referee as well?
Oh, yeah. Penalty.
Is that Messi? Hold on.
I don't think so.
Messi.
Is it?
Messi. That's definitely Messi. Look at it. Good ref.
No foul.
Yo, kick his legs.
Nice. And of course, Messi fouled.
It's not rigged. Yeah! It's not rigged, bro. It's not rigged.
Finally, Messi got a yellow card.
It's not rigged. Look, he's pissed. Yo, this guy's playing like he's playing for Argentina, bro. Look at this. Look, he said F you. This old man.
But real quick, and shout out to OKC. But I think that the thing in that game is turnovers. I mean, the Pacers kept it close and they were winning it by halftime because turnover rate was very close. And OKC wasn't given a lot of turnovers, but so wasn't Indiana. But as the game opened up, you're looking at 24 turnovers for Indiana Pacers to compare to OKC 7. And at the end of the day, fast break transition points against an Oklahoma City team that loves defense and they turn into fast break points is not going to turn out great. It happened in the third quarter when you see TJ McConnell get trapped in the corner. And also,
did you see that clip though?
When he had his arm holding.
Dude, he literally went like this. Wait, Lou, no, it wasn't. It was I thought it was Casey Wallace.
No, I think it was Lou Dort.
What's it called? Either way, yo, right in front of the ref, this guy, Casey, whoever it was, literally went like this.
To TJ. And
grabbed TJ's arm. And TJ's like, he looks at the ref, he's like, are you dead serious right now?
And that's what we're talking about with the favoritism of the calls.
Like, what? But that's not even... What?
It's a stupid.
Like, he literally... He's dribbling, and when you dribble, use the offhand to protect the ball.
Yeah. And he's like this.
And he's yanking his arm.
Closer to you.
And it's like, what am I supposed to do?
It's like a freaking Clash Royale character when you freaking drag him in.
It's like, how am I supposed to make a crossover if I can't cross to the other arm?
I want to see something real quick before I make this comment.
But yeah, man.
Freaking crazy. But shout out to OKC, though. But looking in the future now, are they a team that's going to be a dynasty team? Chat, I want to know down below. Are they a dynasty team?
Big question.
Because I think this is a really good answer, and I think I think I'm very serious with this answer.
Well, you no?
I don't think OKC is going to be a dynasty team because what do you define as dynasty? 2 years, 3 years? I think 3 years in a row. Not in a row, but 3 years. Winning
the
championships.
last dynasty
was okay. It was
the Warriors.
The Warriors.
And the dynasty before that was the Bulls.
Yeah.
So
I think at least 3 championships defines you as a dynasty. OKC has 1. Can they win 2 more? I don't think so because of the fact that how hard this West got. And it leads us to our next point because Kevin Durant just went to the Houston Rockets. Granted, do we think the Houston Rockets are automatically going to make it to the finals and defeat the OKC Thunder and be the best team in the West? Probably not. But you might look at a situation where the West is the best conference. And I'm sorry, but it's so hard to come out of there as the best team. The fact that OKC did it once doesn't mean that they're going to do it again. And I'm not going to say they're going to be a bad team all of a sudden because they still have all the tools and they have a young team and they have draft picks. And they're pretty much set. They're one of the best teams in terms of set for their future. But at the end of the day, you're going to be facing teams along the lines of, in the West, Houston Rockets, LA Lakers, Denver Nuggets, like Minnesota Timberwolves, Golden State. You're looking at all these teams, Spurs, if they get Giannis, that might be crazy. But like, you're looking at least 5 or 6 teams that can put up a good fight in making competition in the West compared to the East.
You know what I think? I think there's a possibility that they could be a dynasty. I just don't know if they win. I don't know if they ever three-peat or come close to three-peating. I think they might be able to, within the next 5 years, I think they maybe could do a back-to-back. And the reason I say that is because the trio of J-Dub, Shea, and Chet Holmgren is so young that, like, we haven't even seen the best of Shea Gilgeous-Alexander yet. That's the scarier part, honestly. Shea's only 26. Chet is 23. Chet's not even close to his prime. And Jay, how old is J-Dub?
J-Dub is 21, I think.
He's 24. Yo, these guys are not even... J-Dub is... Realistically, because I count your prime year starts when you're 27. Some people would say 26. And if I'm counting it based on my knowledge, Shea is just about to end his prime. He just won a ring, right? And he just won MVP. And it's only gonna get better for him, in my opinion. J-Dub is 3 years out of his prime, and Chet is 4 years out of his prime. And this team has a slew of picks. They could keep retooling this team in so many different ways to make sure they have an optimal team to go and chase a ring every single year, that, in my opinion, within the next 5 years from now, so not counting this year, right? Within the next 5 years, I wouldn't be surprised if they get at least 1 more. And by that time, there's a possibility if they get 2 more within the next 5 years, I think
they're a dynasty.
No,
they are.
But the thing is, like, let me put it like this. What if it's like, so is this year
ring, no ring next year,
no ring next year, ring,
no ring,
no ring, no ring, ring?
Maybe not.
See, like, because it starts to bounce in between.
Yeah.
They become a great team. I don't know if they're really a dynasty.
Because dynasty, like in the next 5 years, you have to at least win like at least 2 in a row or 2
I
or
would say
3.
back to back is where it needs to
And
be.
something like that.
Yeah. And that's almost extremely. And if they do it, also, if they do it in this league, oh my gosh.
Yeah, then they'll be
They're actually
considered one of the
best teams that we've ever
greatest
seen.
dynasties that we've ever seen.
Yeah.
But the thing is, I just don't think so because I just listed 5 or 6 teams
Like-
that have a tremendous amount of talent. And not to mention, OKC, as much as we want to say that they won this championship, they were the best team. I don't think anyone's really looking at this. They are considered the best team in the NBA, hands down. But they just Pacers just took this team to 7. So we're really looking at it. Granted, they still won the OKC Thunder, but we're talking about a team that no one really thought was going to come close. Gave them a run for their money.
My question becomes, where do you lean towards more? Do you lean towards the Pacers are just actually that good and we just wasn't really prepared for it? Do you lean towards OKC downplayed, or do you could also lean towards they got done and they made the mistakes because they was that young? Do you blame it? Can you put it there as well? There's so many avenues that you can go, because to be so honest with you, we've never seen anything like this before.
Yeah.
We've never seen a team like this with this much draft capital, this much success at such a young age. Other than like, we wasn't alive for that when the Trailblazers won. That's the youngest team ever to win. But I don't even know their dynasty after that. I think they only won the one and then they stopped afterwards.
They did,
So it's like this team has eons to go for.
Yeah.
Like, so I don't really know
if they make the right moves.
Exactly. Yeah. So it's like, I don't really know how to judge this. When every single time we've seen dynasties, we kind of knew how to judge it because these guys were in their prime. And we knew that once it was in the prime, it was unstoppable. That Warriors team, unstoppable. We knew it already, right? The Bulls, unstoppable. The Lakers, unstoppable. Like we knew what it was because we knew what they brought to the table, and we knew that they was never gonna they wasn't gonna start regressing until a certain point. These guys just got their first ring, and not one of them is in their prime. If anything, one person is starting to hit their prime right now out of their big 3. That's scary.
I just think, to go back to your first question, you said, I think it's more people were underestimating the Pacers, but I think overall, I think the Pacers are just as good as the OKC Thunder not in terms of players or play styles, but in terms of matchups and also hustle. Like the amount of times where we've seen TJ McConnell go off, especially at home, the bench went off. You know,
for real.
It was more of a home court advantage in this sense. But at the end of the day, I don't want to dwell on it too much. OKC won. Shout out to them. Will it be a dynasty? Not in my eyes. And PBN10 says, do y'all lean Pacers dynasty or OKC dynasty?
Pacers don't got a dynasty at all.
Pacers don't got a dynasty. It's OKC. OKC over that one. But I don't think they become a dynasty because of how much talent. And if Giannis goes to the Spurs, which I think is, I don't know why, but I feel very likely that that's going to happen.
It's the one that makes the most sense.
That's why.
Yeah. If Giannis goes Spurs and Wemby is healthy, it's over.
Yeah.
It's actually, I'm one of those. I'm not a big Wemby fan. Don't get me wrong. Like I respect Wemby. Like I wouldn't say I'm a big Wemby fan because I just like I'd be like more of a bandwagon-esque. But like, to be so real with you, I'm a part of a group of people that like I stand here alone actually. I believe Wemby's the best player I've ever seen in my life. Genuine, and not saying that he is the best player ever, but the potential that I see out of Victor Wembanyama is the best thing I've ever seen in my life. And yes, I'm saying that over Braun right now. I am, because there's no one. I've never seen a freak like that. Never seen anything like that in my life. That's that efficient, that good defensively. The brother came in his first year. Disregard the glaze, but the brother came in his first year and should have won Defensive Player of the Year, and they just gave it to Rudy Gobert. Like, I don't know how else you can explain. He's coming to the league and it was already a damn near a top 10 player as it is. He's getting better I don't know, man. I don't know.
Well, he's definitely tremendous talent. Definitely one of them up there. But I feel like I was gonna ask something else. Yeah, I want to get into the Kevin Durant trade as the next one, but after that, I don't really have much to get into. But where are we up to?
Do you know when I first saw the trade, I didn't know that they traded the 5 second rounders?
No,
I did not know that. I thought it was just Jalen Green, Dylan Brooks, and the 10th pick.
When did you find out?
when I spoke to Josiah and he was like, it's 5 second rounders. I'm like, what? They unloaded.
Yeah, 5 second rounders. But the thing is, like, I saw people talking about like that's a lot of picks, but
it's second rounders.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, I don't really value second rounders like that.
And no disrespect, I'll do it for you right now. But if you go to Phoenix draft history, that's 5 useless picks because they don't know how to draft. They actually suck at drafting. I'm gonna.
Real quick, Nye says best is between Russ and Shea. Most beloved Thunder's player Steven Adams, and it was not even close. Sooners love that man. Steven Adams is a goat.
That's true.
He said, David, who are you going to call flopper when Patrick Mahomes is a flopper? That's a different sport. I said, Bear said, I think OKC can win another 2 with this squad just for the fact of how deep the roster is. But look at the thing in the West. Look at the teams in the West. They're only going to get better, especially after seeing a West team winning it. Said no dynasty, 3 wins in 3 years and move on. And more is the start of a dynasty. Okay. Bear said Rockets went from playing team to second round exits. Wow, congrats, Houston.
I want to do this really quick once we're done with the.
I'm gonna finish these comments.
Yeah.
Nye says no. OKC is gonna be good, solid championship contender, but the Spurs are coming and the Wolves are right behind. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. There's a lot of competition in the West. I'm not saying that OKC Thunder are automatically not there, but they're the best team.
I think if the Wolves were gonna make a playoff run, Ant would have to go nuclear. Like Ant would actually have to become.
I think they gotta add somebody else.
Yo, what's going on to Porto? 2-1 Al Ahly, bro. Ahly.
What are we up to? PBN10 said, I think OKC won't three-peat, but in hockey, I am scared for the Florida Panthers to three-peat. Yeah,
that'd be crazy.
They're crazy 1 year. Now it says trade Corey Perry to Florida. The Panthers must be stopped. Naj would do that. He would have Corey Perry on his team, like, guys, here, take him. He's like the curse.
Imagine if Naj was a GM. He the superstitions.
I tell you what, that would be the most entertaining team to watch, though. 100%. I would go there just to watch them.
Oh my god.
Naj, you should start a team. He said, Naj said, who could we say we underestimated? No, who could say we underestimated the Pacers? But we can also say the Pacers don't get this far if Tatum goes down.
I don't know. Because the Knicks kind of had the Celtics in a chokehold before Tatum went down. So I don't know. It's a lot of what ifs. A lot of what ifs. That's why I leave it alone.
See, think about it. Pacers made the playoffs past 2 years in a row and made it far, and this is looking for a third.
But I'll put you this way. I used to not be on this side of sports, I guess you could say, but I'm coming along more as it goes, where availability is extremely important.
Oh, yeah. Eric,
I'm not gonna say availability is the best ability. I still haven't gone there.
Availability is one of the best abilities,
but it is extremely important because I can't, because it's starting to hinder my arguments of being able to say, oh, so-and-so would have won, so-and-so would have done this, because you can't say that because it didn't happen.
Yeah, because they weren't available.
They wasn't there. And we don't know. Tyrese could have hit all those threes and then went cold the rest of the game. We don't know what would have happened. We really don't know what would have happened. So same thing. Tatum could have stayed in the game and they might have won that game.
Who knows?
We don't know.
It's just a big what if at that point.
But yeah.
What are you gonna say? The draft picks, though, right?
Yeah, I have right here. I have there's 314 selections. I'm not gonna go through all those, obviously, but I want you guys to see the history of the Phoenix Suns picking ability, right? What? Give me a year. How far you want me to go back?
Go 2015.
2015.
10
okay.
years.
So I want you to list how many good players or how many players that have done something for Phoenix realistically in those years. Okay. In 2015, with the 13th pick, they got Devin Booker.
All right.
There you go.
He's the best one. That's fantastic.
And with the 44th pick, they got Andrew Harrison that went to Memphis. So he wasn't even on. He wasn't even on the team. 2016, with the 4th pick, they got Dragan Bender.
Oh, jeez. Remember that guy.
Do we know who that is?
I remember the name.
Okay. 13th pick, they got Georgios Papagiannis. He went to Sacramento, so it didn't even matter. That wasn't their pick. 28th pick, this also did not go to them. It went to Sacramento. Scal Labiseri, I don't know how to say his name, to be honest with you. 34th pick, they got Tyler Eulis.
PBN said we're glitching on his screen for some reason.
Let me check.
I don't know. Chad, is that for everybody?
Let us know. Let me check.
No, I think we're good.
No, I miss having clear.
The mics.
Yeah,
the mics is so clear right now.
So clear. Oh man, but after that, right? So was there anyone good in that draft, David?
No.
Okay, let's go 2017. Fourth pick again, right? Josh Jackson. Does he still play NBA basketball?
I don't think so.
Nope, not at all. Then 32nd pick in the second round, Davon Reed. Sick, cool. Second pick in the 54th round. 54th pick in the second round, Alec Peters. So they had 3 picks in that draft, got nothing in return. Cool, sick. Let's go to 2018. First overall pick, DeAndre Ayton. What
got into the finals.
And then cried about it.
Yep.
Okay, cool. 16th pick, Zaire Smith. Oh, he went to Philly though. It wasn't their pick. 31st pick, second round. Eli Okobo. Don't know who that is.
Who?
I clicked someone. Never mind. Right there.
This is why when everyone's saying 5 second rounders is a big deal. I haven't seen 1 second rounder that he listed that's freaking.
Hold on.
No.
But and then the 59th pick in the draft, George King. Don't know who that is either. Right? Let's go to 2019. How many players do you have so far that are good picks?
Devin Booker.
Okay, cool.
And somewhat DeAndre Ayton.
Okay, fair enough.
For the Suns, at least.
6th pick, Jarrett Culver. Wasn't their pick, though. Sorry. Went to Minnesota.
Mm-hmm.
So it was supposed to be their pick, but it went to Minnesota. And second pick, it's KZ Okpala. That went to Miami. Didn't matter. So both of their picks that was supposed to be the 2019. It wasn't even their picks, though. So it didn't even matter. 2020, 10th pick, Jalen Smith. I don't believe he's there anymore. 2021, 29th pick, Day'Ron Sharpe. That was the Brooklyn Nets. Thank you very much for him. 2023, 52nd pick, Tumani Kamara. Sorry, that's it. He's in Portland right now. So that wasn't their pick either. So now we have 2024, where they have 3 picks. And Day'Ron Holmes went to Denver. That wasn't their pick. Kevin McCullough went to New York. That wasn't their pick. And then the 16th pick, I guess they just didn't draft anybody. They
realized how bad they were. They're like, you know what?
My point of saying all these things is, even if Phoenix has all these picks, it doesn't matter because they don't know how to draft. Yo, it's not even the fact that I'm like trying to trash them, right? Pick a year. Give me 2017, or what you want to do? 2017. We'll do the most recent one, right? That they had a pick, which was 2020, Jalen Smith. Okay, 2020 NBA draft. And I want you to pull up, while I'm doing that, pull up the one with Jarrett Culver. I think it was 2019. I might have been NBA draft. Hold on. Here we go. So they had the 10th pick. They picked Jalen Smith. Let's see who's on the board, who they could have picked before Jalen Smith. I want to pull this up really quick. If it wants to load, please load. There we go. Okay. Accept the cookies, whatever. Okay. People that were still on the board.
Accept the cookies.
And mind you, Devin Booker was on the team at this point. People that were still on the board. Devin Vassell. Tyrese Halliburton.
Jeez.
Hold on. Aaron Nesmith.
Okay.
Cole Anthony. I'll say Pokusevski, but not really. Josh Green was there. Precious was there. Tyrese Maxey. Hold on. Let's see if we get Emmanuel Quickly, another one. Peyton Pritchard, another one. Jaden McDaniels. Wow, insane. Ooh, Desmond Bane. Oh my God. Does the list go? Do we keep going? Hold on. Is there anyone? Not really savingly. I'm not going to really do that. Trey Jones, Nick Richards, but he's on the team right now, actually, funny enough.
Isaiah Joe just won a championship.
You are correct. Wow, Cassius. Wait, no, that's not the person I'm thinking of.
Cassius Winston.
Yeah. So that's pretty much it. There was several names in there that they could have picked, and they chose Jalen Smith. No disrespect to Jalen Smith.
Granted, we're looking back now and saying this, because at the time you don't know because they're just college coming out.
But their job is
As a
to
scout, yes.
scout
Yes.
and pick teams. Why are other teams able to draft good players? Look at Oklahoma City.
Yeah, you have 10 years of.
If you gave Phoenix those picks, they would have picked everybody wrong.
Yeah, I think 10 years and you get one good selection doesn't really add up good in terms of the percentage.
It doesn't at all. Wait, hold on. I want to look up Jalen Smith right now because he's on the Chicago Bulls. Yeah, I knew I wasn't bugging. Dude, nice. 8 points, 6 rebounds. Okay, cool. Sick. Now I want you to go to Jared Culver.
Yep.
6th pick in the draft.
Draft 6th. Went to Timberwolves.
Now, mind you, oh, wait, but it doesn't matter, though, because it wouldn't have been that pick anyways. No, it's a bad example. It wouldn't have mattered. It's not that pick.
Okay.
So
what example? What do you want to pull up?
I would like to see the next one I'd like to see. So that was the first one that we saw.
6, 7 on the highway.
Let's go. Nah, I'm not going to do that one because their last one they had to pick, they traded everything away.
Josh Jackson,
Let's go. We
2017?
could honestly do. We could
2017?
go 2017. I'm going to go 2018 because I can still do 2018 as well. Oh, 2018 NBA draft. I want to prove to you guys how piss poor this team is with picks. Because the whole point of this, the whole point of me saying this is that trade, I believe Houston won. Right? And the reason I believe Houston won is because unless they trade Devin Booker away to go get their picks back, none of this matters. Because they don't know how to draft anyways. So and they drafted, they got another shooting guard in return for Kevin Durant. They're bad at everything. They're a bad organization. They don't know how to build. But let's go ahead. You do 2017 first.
So they drafted Josh Jackson with the 4th pick. So after that,
Who's on the table? Tell me.
the next one was De'Aaron Fox.
Wow, that could have been a great
Foxy,
pair.
my guy,
That
my
could have
guy
been a great
Fox.
pairing with Devin Booker.
Jonathan Isaac.
Honestly,
Okay.
he's in the league, so he's better.
Lowry Marketing.
Another one that would have been better.
Zach Collins.
Another one. You honestly could list anyone that's just still in the league.
Malik Monk.
Okay, come on.
Luke Kennard.
Another one.
Donovan Mitchell.
Another one.
Bam
Oof.
Adebayo.
I won't give you Donovan because he's the same position. Fair enough. Bam Adebayo, another one. Kentucky brothers. Easy.
Mm-hmm.
Easy.
Yeah.
Keep it going.
John Collins.
Oh my goodness.
Jared Allen.
Oh my goodness.
OG Anunoby.
Oh my goodness.
Kyle Kuzma.
Look, another one.
Derek White.
Come on.
Josh Hart.
Guys.
2nd round. Let's see if we got anyone.
They picked dude that's not even in the league no more.
Dylan Brooks. Isaiah Hartenstein. Thomas Bryant. That's it.
Do you know how many players?
Monty Morris.
Do you know how many players they could have picked instead of Josh Jackson?
They don't know how to
And
draft.
they chose Josh Jackson.
They don't know how to draft.
They don't know. They can't predict players. Now, granted, I could be sitting here at the time. I thought Josh Jackson was going to be a good player. Don't get me wrong. But, ladies and gentlemen, I don't get paid the big bucks to understand who's going to get freaking drafted. And they go to combines. They do workouts.
They
you
talk
can
to them.
see
Yeah.
what's going to happen, and you consistently pick the worst option.
Here's the thing. Like, we're not trying to say, like, the reason why it's so bad is because in the last 10 years, you got one pick correct out of probably, 25?
And you've had lotteries.
Like,
And
it's
you lost
really bad.
everything.
It's really bad. You got to be more consistent. But I have yours up
Go
for
on.
the 2018 one.
DeAndre Ayton.
I love this one. I want to do this one. I
Oh,
saw the
my
first one.
goodness.
First one up. Luka Doncic.
Because they had the first pick in this one.
They got the first pick.
They had the best odds. And mind you, still have Devin Booker here.
Mhm.
So you want to, Devin Booker
Luka
is.
Doncic. I understand not picking Luka. Okay. No, you
Imagine-
have Devin Booker on the team.
No.
Okay.
You understand that? I would have picked Luka.
It depends. I wasn't a scout. So.
But oh, know what? Let me stop because
Yeah.
CP3 was there. I'll stop. I'll behave on that
Okay.
one.
Jaren Jackson Jr. Boom. Got my eye.
There's one.
Trey Young.
Another one.
Mo Bamba. Nah.
Nah.
Wendell Carter Jr. Colin Sexton.
Honestly, you could say Wendell's better than him right now.
Mikael Bridges.
Oh my goodness.
Shea Gilgeous-Alexander.
Oh my goodness.
Miles Bridges.
Oh my goodness.
Michael Porter Jr.
Oh my goodness.
Dante DiVincenzo.
I'll give them the benefit of the doubt because Michael Porter Jr. was hurt.
Mhm.
Dante DiVincenzo. Even Dante's better than DeAndre Ayton right now. Come on.
Anthony Simons.
Oh.
Mm,
I'll give them the benefit of the doubt on the guards.
mm.
But at the end of the day, this is just
Jalen Brunson, second round.
My God.
Mitchell Robinson, second round. Gary Trent Jr., second round. Bruce Brown, second round. Jared Vanderbilt, second round.
Mind you, what they got out of DeAndre Ayton was a finals appearance. Shout out to DeAndre Ayton. He did what he had to do, but then at the end of it all, threw a hissy fit and then left. Because they couldn't keep, and they had it. They had it.
Bro, y'all giving me PTSD with this, man. Yeah,
I'm sorry, Philip.
Sorry,
I have to go on your team because you know what's happening now? Now they're about to lose Devin Booker, and their best player is going to be Jalen Green and Bradley Beal.
Well,
two guys that play the same position. They have three guards. Oh my gosh.
To go into the breakdown of the trade. So Kevin Durant got traded to the Houston Rockets. In return, the Suns received Jalen Green, Dylan Brooks, the 10th overall pick in this draft, and 5 second-round picks. Overall, who won this trade?
The Houston Rockets.
Houston Rockets. The reason why the Houston Rockets won this trade, hands down, because of the fact that you're looking at a situation where Jalen Green is on that gray area with the fact that every single year he was just not growing. He was always on the same ship, just going, passing by. He wasn't really taking that next step. And it was always a year where we're like, okay, Jalen Green will take this step this year, this step this year. And it hasn't really been like that. So at the end of the day, you're looking at a situation where if the guy that you drafted as, I think, top 5 pick to be your franchise guy,
number 2.
Yeah, your number 2 pick, and not being the franchise guy, you got to move on. And he's not even taking any steps into the positive direction. Granted, I think Jalen Green's a bad player. No, I just think he didn't work out with the Houston Rockets. So I think in terms of what they lost, Dylan Brooks, he's a vet. That's it. That's all they lost. Nothing crazy. But they got Kevin Durant, a guy averaging 27 points last season at the age of 36. So even if they get 1 or 2 years out of him, that's all they really need. So and also you want to mention they gave up the 10th pick. Okay, they gave up 1 first. And also, don't forget about 5 seconds. 5 seconds don't mean nothing when Eric just went over. The freaking Phoenix Suns do not know how to draft. So give them all the second-round picks that you want. They're still not going to get anyone successful because they don't know how to draft. And also, it's like you only give up 1 first-round pick in 5 seconds. I'm sorry, but Mikal Bridges went for 4. Rudy Gobert went for 4 first-round picks. It's like, in terms of those, and in terms of what we're gauging it, the Kevin Durant Houston Rockets one was a steal, in my opinion.
And to add on to what David's saying, the Jalen Green, not only did you guys trade Kevin Durant away, but you went and got another player that plays the same exact position as your best player on the team.
You're not supposed to do
that. And then on top of it, it's like, oh, okay, well, maybe they want to trade Devin Booker away too. You still have Bradley Beal on the team. It doesn't make sense. Who's playing point guard?
No.
Who? Because I'm telling you right now,
Tyrus Jones.
Their best option, right, is to trade Devin Booker as fast as possible.
Yeah.
Because the moment that Devin Booker comes out and he says, I'm demanding a trade, value down. Because he doesn't want to be there anymore. He doesn't want to be there. Now, I want to be honest. Houston made a great move by getting rid of Jalen Green. And the reason why we say this, no disrespect to Jalen Green. I've been seeing a lot of people say this, and a lot of people keep saying, geez.
Yeah.
What's it called? I keep seeing a lot of people say this as well. Obviously, everyone rooting for you, Jalen Green. Obviously, we still want you to be a good player. You're still so young. How old is he actually?
23.
He is... Where is it? I can't see.
23.
Oh, 23. Yeah. You're still extremely young. Same age as Chet. Like, you still have a lot of growing to do. You're so far many years off your prime, and you definitely still have a future within this league. You're still a very good basketball player.
The thing is, you got to see improvements throughout your years, though.
And it's not even... You was the second overall pick.
You were the face of that team.
You was... Can we... Hold on. Can you do me a favor and get me the draft year of 2021 while we're at it, while I explain this, right? You were the second overall pick in your draft behind Cade Cunningham. I remember very vividly. 2021. That's the year they say you drafted. In that space of time, you've averaged, the first year you came in, averaged 17 points. I'm gonna round up, round down. He averaged 17 points, 3 assists, and 3 rebounds. Not bad for a rookie.
Yeah.
Honestly, not bad for a rookie. Next year, you take a jump. 22 points. You average 4 assists and 4 rebounds. Again, took a bigger jump, had a better year.
It was only improved from here.
The year after that, you averaged 20. You went down a little bit. Let's look at his assists. he averaged 4 assists again. He averaged a little bit more rebounds, 5 rebounds. Then this year, he averaged 21. He had averaged 3 assists and 5 rebounds total. The reason I'm highlighting these so much is because obviously the stats already show a level of inconsistency, right? Within the 4 years, right? Not only that, if you watch the games, you understand that he is nothing more than a streaky shooter. There's nights that he drops 40, and then there's nights that he's dropping 5, or he's dropping 10, or he's dropping 15. And when you're the number one scoring option on your team, that is unacceptable. On top of that, your rookie contract is coming up. So they're going to have to pay you because it's either they're going to pay you or someone else is going to pay you. So, and let's be real, they don't want to pay him that much money. If you're going to just show me consistently, you've proven to me that you're inconsistent. Why would I pay you all that max money? So you know what? I'm going to go off you or get rid of you to go get Kevin Durant that's going to literally fill the void of what we wanted you to do in the first place, which was just be a volume scorer. That's all KD got to do.
And the thing that sucks is that does this make this Rockets team a contender? Yeah, it does.
Yeah.
If Kevin Durant can still put up 27 points a game and be that scorer that they need, 100%. Because what you're getting is a veteran guy that's won championships, one of the greatest scorers of all time, and can still drop 27 points and be a clutch guy when it matters most. And if Jalen Green, all he offered was scoring in your eyes for that team, then Kevin Durant is leaps and bounds above that. So, and you didn't lose anything in terms of play, because you can go to free agency and get somebody to replace Dillon Brooks. So you're looking at a similar team where they keep everyone together. This Rockets team, I know they have the second best record in the NBA. They can be consistently up there, and I think they can put up some noise if they all mesh well together. Obviously,
let's be so honest though. You said it perfectly. What does Jalen Green do that Kevin Durant can't do and more? Nothing.
And the smart thing is you trade him before his contract gets up because you don't want to pay him that.
You clear the cap space. Now, granted, Kevin Durant's contract is big, but before we get into Kevin Durant, I want to go into this as well to compare him to his other draft peers as a whole. So you mind if I list them really quick?
Yeah, go on.
What's it called? So you had Cade Cunningham, who was drafted, who is already clearly a franchise guy. Evan Mobley, who is deemed definitely an important piece for the Cleveland Cavaliers. Scotty Barnes, who is still with the Raptors, one of the better players on the Raptors as well. Even though that Raptors team is a little bit worse, I will say as much, but they've managed it. They've kept him around because they know how important he is. Then you had Jalen Suggs, who is still on the Magic with the Magic as well. Josh Gay is the only one that has left. Jonathan Kuminga hasn't amounted to what he's supposed to be, but he's also on a stacked Warriors team, and realistically, his role was never to be what you had, right?
Yeah, the voice crack.
My fault. You have Franz Wagner, who stepped into his role perfectly as well. Davion is kind of he walked into that Kings when you had De'Aaron Fox and Tyrese. He was never going to get that playing time. Zaire Williams is on the Nets, right? Well, is he still on the Nets?
Yep,
no, we traded him, right?
He's on the Nets, I think.
What's it called? He's also a decent player as well. These players, as I go further and further down, Alperen Sengun, oh my gosh, bro. Alperen Sengun was drafted after you as well. Like, you're supposed to be that guy. They picked you for all that. They could have went and got Evan Mobley.
Yeah.
They could have went and got Scotty. They could have went and got Franz.
Yeah.
They could have went and got so many other people that probably would have done a better job than you right now.
Yeah.
So it just goes to show you haven't lived up to what you needed to be. When we look at that draft class, let's be so honest. When we had first saw that draft class, it was between Cade, Mobley, and him.
Yeah.
And he has been the only one that hasn't stayed at that area. Cade has definitely exceeded. Mobley has been very good. And, well, Mobley's been more than very good. He's DPOY.
Yeah, he's great.
So you have Cade with an all-star appearance and an all-NBA team selection.
I mean, if you rank the top 5 players,
he's the worst one. He's the worst one.
I mean, Jalen Suggs might be the worst one.
No, though. But think about it. What does Jalen Suggs when you look at the two players and what they offer?
A lot of injuries, and he doesn't score that many points.
But the thing is, I don't think that's not the type of ball player that he is, though.
Yeah, but I would rather take Jalen Green over Jalen Suggs. But after that, I'm not taking him over Cade. I'm not taking him over Mobley. I'm not taking him over Scotty Barnes.
It needs to be better, man. It needs to be better. And I hope that you can find your feet and that Phoenix, I think it's perfect for him. perfect situation. Phoenix gives you
If
keys.
Devin Booker is out of there
Devin
and
Booker-
Bradley
yo,
Booker.
if
Bradley
Phoenix
Beal.
doesn't trade Devin Booker, they're stupid. They're stupid. There's no point in keeping him. You're not building nothing with him. Just let him go.
Yeah, it's crazy.
He might be a Knick. I'm not even joking. That might be the only team.
I know they were thinking about that, but we'll see what happens. But overall, yeah, KD, bro, the Rockets team's about they're already a good team, but I think in terms of this is not necessarily making them good for the regular season, but making them good for playoffs.
Yeah,
that's all that matters because you can't get eliminated by Golden State in the first round.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so they have to do something about it. I think this at least makes them second round and farther, guaranteed for the Rockets.
Being the fact that you wanted to do this earlier, that leads us perfectly into our next segment of predicting what we think. Obviously, this free agency isn't over yet.
The way too early predictions.
Yeah, the way too early prediction. But if you want to look at the West, where do you see the Rockets? Top 16?
Top 6, definitely. And probably where they are right now.
Are they 2?
I mean, I didn't expect them to be 2 this year, and they was.
That was definitely true. Yeah,
I think they can be 2. I think it's OKC 1. I think it's Houston 2. After that, I gotta go more into depth on the roster.
Yeah,
stuff, but
I think it's too close. I think it's too early to call. I think it's way too early to call.
I don't think Rockets get worse than this. You can't. You didn't really give up a lot. You didn't give up a lot. This is the guarantee for your playoffs to go second round or farther. That's it. That's basically what you're telling.
The one thing that I can almost guarantee. No, I can't. No, the one thing I can guarantee: Utah's still gonna suck. Portland's still gonna suck. Even though they got better. The Pelicans, honestly, Brandon. The Pelicans probably not gonna make the play in either.
Pelicans, Zion doesn't. DeJounte Murray, they have a good team though. Trey Murphy, like they have such a good team.
It matters.
Freaking Zion, he's freaking got grape charges right now, dude. Freaking crazy.
I'd say Utah, Portland, Phoenix, and what? Hat trick.
We gotta put this game on.
What's it called? I'd say Portland, Phoenix, Utah, and the Pels are almost. I can almost guarantee that they're not making the play-in, which really leaves the Spurs and probably the Kings will probably be the next one, or the Grizzlies.
Yeah, Grizzlies are kind of in that weird area too. There's gonna be a lot. I'm gonna tell you this. There's going to be a lot of offseason stuff that's going to be happening because there's a lot of question marks. You look at the Grizzlies where Jaren Jackson Jr. money you traded. What are they going to do with that? Also, you're looking at in situations where Minnesota, they need to help their roster. Oh, Inter Miami just scored.
How do you know? Oh, my bad.
That's crazy.
Yeah, was it Messi? Let's watch. Chat, live reaction.
I can't see.
Live reaction.
Damn, how behind in my TV?
It's gonna come right now. No, it was not. You look, David's already trying to find ways. Oh wait, how far behind are you? Yo, what? David, are you a minute behind? Yo, chat, I got a notification that they scored like a minute ago. They're not even going forward yet. Oh, here we go. Who's that? Is that Suarez? Look at it. Opa! Oh, it's solo goal, man! Luchito Suarez! Yo, bro, look all that freaking man. Damn. Push his way through.
That was
look at Mascherano. Yeah, bro.
That was fantastic defending.
Yeah, no, they just couldn't contain him, man. They couldn't. So you know who Suarez doing that to? Ruben Dias. He's doing that to Renato Vega. No, man. That's who you're doing it to. Easy does.
No, man should probably just like this and freaking fall over. That's freaking crazy.
I do want to see this though. Wait, let me see.
Go ahead. Just watch how bad the defending was.
The Skins?
Yeah, he goes past him.
Skins him. Upper 90. Oh, the keeper should have saved it. What?
All right, this is Sunday League. The keeper actually got a full hand. This is Sunday League. Real quick, let's get into these comments.
Bite somebody. Look at him.
Yeah, but we both think the Rockets won that trade. There we go too. Philip said like we couldn't even try to trade for Jabari Smith, like a forward or something, because that means by you getting Jalen Green basically tells you that Devin Booker is gonna
That's
work
what
his
I'm
way out.
saying. And
Yeah.
if they don't trade him, that's even worse. Because
Mhm.
now you're stunting the growth of the young talent that you just received.
Yeah.
It makes no sense.
Nye says they need to trade Bradley Beal for peanuts. Hope Ace Bailey keeps tanking his stock so they can pick him and pray to Jesus of Latter-day Saint for a play-in appearance. That's crazy.
Let me tell you right now, if Ace Bailey falls that far, then that's picking him up.
So 2021 was almost a repeat of 2020. In what sense? So Bradley Beal does have a no trade clause, but he want to be the star. He can do all that in Sacramento or something. Get 3 second-round picks that'll play a total of 30 games altogether before he going to China. But they can't pick.
Isn't it so crazy how you literally can't trade Bradley Beal?
You can't.
They want to trade him, and he's like, no.
Dude, honestly, out of all the worst trades in history, I think that's definitely up there.
The worst one.
It has to be.
Dude, no one thought that was gonna work.
That's insane.
That's
insane.
Yo, imagine me like, yo, we want to trade you. He's like, no. He's like, I'm staying.
That's insane. That's insane. It's like I don't know, wanting to fire your boss and you want to fire someone that works for you, and they'd be like, nope, you can't fire me. I got no trade clause. It's like, what?
Yeah, man.
But anyway, Nye says it's fine. And Chris in the bill is gone. Chris, appreciate popping out, my guy. Said, OMG, they're back in the same room. Yes, we are. PB Intense said he's about to fly to Italy in 3 weeks. Well, have fun, my guy. How long are you going for? And where are you going?
Wow.
That's going to be fun.
Probably going to go try out for one of the Italian football teams.
Yeah, kick the 70-yard field goals.
Exactly.
Bear said, boys, if you had 3 words to describe these teams, OKC and Pacers moving forward, what would they be?
Both of them combined?
Well, one at a time, I'm assuming. 3 words to describe them.
Damn!
Yeah, this Porto team has no defense.
Look, they're upset.
Yeah.
They're going to finish bottom of the group.
Yeah.
They suck.
They do. I mean, you haven't been seeing them play. They've been playing butt cheeks. It's really sad.
Yo, bro, Europe is down. Look at this.
That's a banger shot.
That's a sweet shot. That is, man.
That sucks because there's like a lot of players on Porto not even playing. It's so sad. Oof. But real quick.
Yo, he pulled that out of his freaking his freaking butt.
Is that
bro.
the same guy who has freaking 3 goals already?
Imagine.
Look it up.
If it is, that's even crazier. They didn't tell me you scored.
Offsides?
Are you ahead? Offsides?
Offsides?
Stop.
Chat, sorry, we're looking at this important. No, it counted.
64th minute.
I'm
what?
Ahead. You're ahead.
What? Do they know something that we don't? What? He didn't score. It doesn't count.
No,
Yo, they're glitching. Someone's not updated. Look,
hold up.
Even Foot Mob doesn't care about the game. Even football is not updated.
Football, stop. 3 words to describe OKC.
I got one. Potential.
3 words.
I got one.
It's like that segment where Charles Barkley, like, in 3 words, describe him up. He's like, Chris Paul is must-see TV. Like 3 words. He's like, that wasn't 3 words. He's like, you didn't say 3 words. You said get to the point. It's like, no.
I'll go potential, historic.
For the future?
Oh, for the future?
Yeah.
Well, no, yeah. Historic, because they're one of the youngest teams, and she had one of the best regular seasons.
Okay.
So, potential, historic, and
no, it's a different guy.
Fortunate.
Scott Foster.
No,
I'm kidding.
Yo, what the hell?
No, they don't want to. They don't care.
They actually don't care about this.
Like they actually put a substitute.
They literally do not care.
To describe in 3 words.
They just missed.
I didn't see.
Dude,
not looking.
It was a perfect ball across the box.
This team...
Oh.
Ew. Real quick. 3 words to describe OKC. Bill, damn it.
Look. Oh no, that's the goal.
Potential.
Yeah.
Young.
Yeah. Oh wait, is this it?
Oh.
Wait. I want David to see this. If this is no, this is not it.
No, this is the goal. They're making sure he's on sides.
He dropped like 8 players before he got that. Okay, go ahead.
I'm gonna go young, potential, and champions and superstar. Superstar champions because this team is contenders. Oh, sorry, contenders instead of champions. Contenders. Young potential contenders.
Fair.
Now Pacers.
Young potential contenders.
Yeah.
That's one thing. Pacers. Womp womp. No, I'm kidding. Heart
Okay.
in the future. Hopeful. And I'll go hardworking. Like, oh my! He just killed him. He clattered
I'm
him.
gonna go team. Hardworking, if that's one word,
Mhm.
and I'm gonna go successful.
That's a disgusting foul. Sorry. Yeah.
Hardworking, successful, and something else.
In the future, that's
Yeah.
what we're feeling. Successful.
Well, I think if they make the playoffs, I think you are a successful team.
Fair enough.
I
Bear.
says, okay, see, so many picks. Indiana championship loss hangover.
Crazy.
Here's this. OKC, what the hell? Continue.
What's it called? He said, Pacers, what the Halliburton? And he said, OKC, Shea, greatness, Alexander. This dude. What did he say?
So I said Porto. He said porthole. No, Porto.
Porthole is butt cheeks.
Said, when does Breast play? He said, I'm waiting to see Breast. Get Breast out there. We want Breast.
Not
I
till
know.
next year.
Breast is an exciting team to watch.
Yes.
Hopefully another Champions League run.
You stupid.
So David, how do you spell quesadilla?
What is that like? Is that what happened? Something happened today?
Today, yeah.
What happened?
This bear was looking at me. He's like typing so he's like, how do you spell quesadilla? And like right away, I got back from talking to you. I come back. First thing Bear says to me, he's like, how do you spell quesadilla? And I'm like, what the hell? I'm like, damn, bro.
Oh, man.
Freaking hilarious. Also, one quick thing before we wrap up the show. I want to talk about something in UFC. John Bones Jones has retired. He called Dana White and said that he's done with the sport. What do you think about this? John Jones, one of the greatest fighters of all time, is now leaving the octagon. Thoughts on this? What did you think?
I don't like how abrupt it was. I know he doesn't care, but like, I just don't like how abrupt it was because, like, as a fan, I was not ready for that at all. Like, that came out of left field. He was a champion. You know what I mean? Like, I didn't think he retired just like, all right, I'm just gonna vacate the title, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it kind of felt like it just felt not correct. It didn't feel like it was the right way to do it. Granted, it's his life; he can do whatever he wants.
Yeah,
like, and he's the greatest of all time, whether we like it or not. So, so realistically, nothing much to say from it except that, like, I wish he would fought Aspinall, and I feel like also it kind of makes him look weird.
Yeah,
like how that was the next fight, and like everyone's saying he's ducking, and he's saying he's not ducking, and then all of a sudden now he's just not.
I guess he was ducking.
He's not. I don't know. I can't tell, but you can. That's my. I just think it's weird.
I think kind of sucks because it's kind of like not out of nowhere because we knew that it was gonna come to an end at some point. But
yeah,
I feel like it was just like uncalled for because we always thought like he would have his last fight in the octagon, or he would say before the fight, this is gonna be my last fight. Like announce it before you fight your last one, not have a long break and say, yeah, I'm done. You know, I feel like that's kind of weird thing, but you know, he's one of the greatest fighters of all time. I got to give a lot of respect to him. One of the best mixed martial artists I've ever seen in my life. And I think you got to give him his respect. But at the end of the day, it's like people will say that him retiring is him because he was intimidated or maybe nervous that he would have to fight so hard against Tom Aspinall. I'm not saying he would lose, but it wouldn't be as easy as it would against other fights he's had in the past.
Well, I mean, yeah, and honestly, if he would have lost to Aspinall, in my opinion, I don't think anyone would have ever said that Aspinall is better than John Jones. Like, let's just
different ages.
Yeah, and he's different ages. John Jones also like he fought a lot of light heavyweight as well. Like it's a different ball game. It's a whole different ball game, and you could tell John Jones. That's not the John Jones that we know. Come on now, like that. The real John Jones would have killed Aspinall. No disrespect.
But even now, I think John Jones could have still beat him. That's why it's so weird. I think it's like a situation when people say he's like it's weird that it makes it look like he's afraid to fight him. But I think even if John Jones fought him now, I think and he had a great camp, I think he can beat him. I think it's a good shot. I think it'd be a really good fight. But I think it's weird. But at the end of the day, it is what it is. He's retired, and now he's gonna go down as one of the greatest UFC fighters of all time.
I would have liked it.
I would have liked it after a fight.
Yeah.
I'd
have been whether he won or lost. It wouldn't have mattered to me. Like it would have been done, but not like just completely out of left field. Like no
say
one...
in the post conference.
Yeah,
Joe Rogan's up to you. Say, John Jones, what a great career. He'd be like this. I just want to say one thing. This is my last fight.
Yeah,
I'm officially retired.
It wouldn't. It doesn't even have to be special. Like we didn't have to know, but the way it was done, like imagine finding out from Dana White that he retired. Like you didn't even tell anybody.
The funny thing is that Dana White said like a couple months ago, he's like, yeah, that fight Tom Aspinall versus John Jones will 100% happen. And then now like a couple months later, he's like, John Jones is officially retired.
John Jones said, "Yo, F you." So how about that?
That's crazy, dude. But that's all I got. But Nice says, "Got a jet, fellas." Said, "Stay blessed." Appreciate you, Nice, popping out, my guy.
Nice.
Enjoy. Have a nice one. Bear said, John Jones going out sad. Maybe if his opponent dressed up as his wife, he would have an easier time getting in the Wow. Jeez, dude. That's crazy. That's
absurd.
Crazy. I like to see Bear and John Jones in
No, I wouldn't.
I wouldn't do it for Bear's sake.
Yeah, Bear would just die.
Yeah, I think anyone would. If you don't have
Not
experience.
me. Not me. I wouldn't. I would not.
You wouldn't even be there.
No, I would be there.
What would you do? Were you wearing a freaking Iron Man suit?
Me and John Jones. How many rounds?
Not even. They give you 25 seconds.
No, give me what? A championship fight, or regular fight. I'll literally show you how it plays out. Genuinely, I'm not dying in that ring.
Let me see.
Ready? So you're
How's
John
it play
Jones,
out? Yeah.
Ready?
Now I'm curious how dumb this is.
Ready?
I got you.
So you gotta ring the bell.
Ding.
Ready? Hold on. If this is the ground, I'm tapping out. Done. Game over. I survived. Simple as that. Simple as that,
But
buddy.
you can't tap out.
What do you mean?
You can't tap. You can't tap. There's no.
The moment he grabs me, I'm tapping out. The moment he grabs me.
You just go like this.
Yep. Don't get off me. Get your hands off me, bro.
Damn. I would see that though. That should be a YouTube video.
No, it shouldn't.
He's out of retirement. He's got nothing to do now.
So he just hurts us.
Well, not well.
You know who she tried to get? Mighty Mouse.
Yeah,
he does YouTube.
He does do YouTube.
That'd be lit because he would wrap us up too.
Yeah, Mighty Mouse. I think he's one of the greatest mixed martial artists I've ever seen too. He is so skilled, but the thing is, he doesn't get a lot of credit because of the weight class he's in.
Yeah,
and I think it's such a shame. I think he's still considered one of the greatest MMA or UFC fighters of all time.
Yeah, pound for pound.
Yeah. PBM 10 said, "See y'all. So I'm getting."
I'm sorry. I tried.
I glitched
out. See y'all.
See ya, y'all. So I'm gonna get ready for my flight to Italy, Sicily. Okay, in 3 weeks. Peace. PBM, have fun, my guy. PBM, have a great time, my guy. Enjoy. Get ready.
Oh gosh. Oh, they finally updated it. No, it was Ben Ramadan.
Yeah, no, I showed you that before. ESPN had it. Yeah.
Well, no, I'm talking football.
I know, but I saw it on ESPN.
Oh.
I showed you. I'm like, that's not the guy. But without further ado, guys, that's all I got for today's episode. We're about to close it on 2 hours. If you haven't done already, anything else you want to say?
Nah, man.
But if you haven't done already, hit that like button, subscribe if you're new, and share the show with everyone you know. We're trying to grow this channel as always, and it would be much appreciated if you guys' help along our way by our side. But without further ado, we officially conclude today's episode. If you haven't done already, hit that like button, subscribe if you're new, share the show to everyone that you know, and we'll be back on Wednesday. So enjoy. well, now sports is kind of dying down, so there's not really a lot to talk about. But we'll have
Baseball.
some fun
Club
stuff
World
to talk
Cup.
about. Yeah.
Club World Cup.
It's
Come
true.
on.
Without further ado, guys, thank you. Hope you have a great rest of your day, and we'll be back on Wednesday. It's been your boy David,
It's been your boy Eric.
and we are out, guys. Enjoy the rest of your day. Thank you. Love you guys, and we're out. Peace.
Peace.